breakfast or a little dessert bread, chocolate, orange, nuts, crunch, soft, hot. Come on, let's just go for it. So I'm going to give you the easiest, most reliable bread recipe that you can embrace in your life. When you make bread, it's a beautifully soulful thing. It really is therapeutic, it's fun, it's creativity, and I think you're going to love it. So look, right here, I've got 1 kilo of strong organic bread flour. If you go to any supermarket or deli, if you search out the organic flour, strong, and that's going to get you somewhere really close to perfection, right? We can make a little well in the center here. And then here I've got 650 milliliters of tepid water. That means lukewarm. When I take a sachet of yeast, and they're the same in all the supermarkets, 7 grams, right? Just open it up, pour the yeast in. It's funny old stuff, but that was dormant and asleep. And now with a little heat, we're going to wake it up. So in the middle, we'll go in with the yeast. Like that. Now, we need to season this flour. So a couple of teaspoons of sea salt. So in we go. And then I'll use a fork just to kind of keep my hands clean to start mixing it up. Bring in a little bit of the sides. So you go from water to a kind of light slurry, then it will thicken up. So look, as the fork does the hard work of the sticky business, like we're bringing it all together, we can start getting a bit more aggressive now and bringing this flour in. You can see it getting firmer. Because there's a bit more water in this recipe, what you get is a lighter, softer, spongier, plumper dough, and it will give you great results. It also means you've got to knead it a bit more to not make it sticky. It's quite therapeutic. Like if you love someone, put it into the bread. If you've got good thoughts, put it into the bread. If you hate someone, put it into the bread. Take out the, you know, like just get amongst it and just knead until all of these little bits are completely clean, right? You're going to do your own washing up by kneading. So I'm just pushing it and pulling it, can you see? And then I'll pull it back. So when I stop kneading this dough, you'll see it kind of starting to bounce back a little bit, like a kind of rubber band. There's some other techniques where you can kind of just throw it down, pull it over like that. But really, your job is just to keep moving it until it's shiny, smooth, and really elastic. Okay, so I'm going to take that bowl. I'm just going to lube it up with some olive oil, just so it doesn't stick. So get the dough in a bowl. Just put a little oil on top. So what I tend to do is just put a wet cloth over here and let it slowly prove. That's one batch made. I made one exactly the same, which has been in the fridge for like 2.5 hours. And this is what happens, and I tend to just leave it in the fridge all weekend. So look at that, that's the same batch. So you can see that this is quite tight. Can you see this is just like dreamy, look at that. Oh, it's too much. Let's put this in the fridge. So all these little bubbles here, that's carbon dioxide, okay? And trapped inside our dough. Look at this. Oh, come on, look at those beautiful, see these holes? Come and have a look at these holes. Like they're really fine. And these holes are what's going to give you that sponginess and the texture. So we can just push this back and we'll push the air out. So what I can do is split this bread in half. We'll take this, pop that there for a second, cover it up, put it in the fridge. But you grab a bit, make a pizza, do some little rolls. You can create little dumplings around leftover sort of chilies or bologneses. You can steam them, like you can roast them. So just have this kind of dough in your fridge. It's a cool thing. I'm just going to press the dough out to like the size of A4 kind of bit of paper. We're going to go for a little bit of like chocolate spread, hazelnut chocolate spread that you guys know. Pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds. So look, 10 seconds just helps it be much more kind of spreadable. 4 big tablespoons, I'd say, about 160, 180 grams. So just use that spoon just to see how nice and satisfying that is, just to sort of spoon it around. Best friend of chocolate is orange. Use a fine grater, even on a box grater, and just zest A little orange. You hardly need any really to make a difference, but chocolate orange breakfast bread. Come on. So it might not look like much orange, but that will make all the difference. So look, this is proper child's play. Very, very simple to do. So just, confidently take this and start to roll it up. And you can pinch the little sides if you wish to stop the chocolate coming out. Pinch it. You can do it badly. You can roll it. It doesn't really matter. And now you've got a chocolate and bread log, right, with a hit of orange. Take a knife, not quite to the end, and we'll go straight down the middle, like that. And what you'll do is expose sort of texture. So look at that, right? You've layered it, you've laminated it, you've made the everyday exciting. So through flavor combination, but also fantasy, texture, shape. So get yourself a little loaf tin like this, any one you want. This is non-stick, but you can rub it with a bit of oil, no problem. And then literally just turn it over like this, and don't worry about it being, a bit rough and ready. What will happen is, and what is very generous, is that as this proves, it's going to double in size, right? So all those little gaps, all those little imperfections will just kind of sort themselves out. So what I want to do is a little egg wash and some crushed nuts. So egg wash is quite nice. It's going to give you the most amazing colour. So just beat up the eggs like this, and we'll just take some of that egg wash like that and just brush it onto the white dough, not onto the chocolate. Now, when you do this, this will make it go golden and gorgeous beyond all belief. And then you can take some nuts, in this case, best friends of chocolate, hazelnuts, but it could be any nut. It could be pistachio, almonds. So put your nuts in there, crack them up. Then when you bash it up, just sprinkle that over the top. And as that proves, it will just wind into the nuts. They'll stick to the top like that, and it will be absolutely incredible. So what you want to do now is just put this in a little corner of the room. You can put a wet cloth over it as well to create that humidity. You don't really want a window open or a draft. And in about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour and a half, that will double in size, right? And when it's doubled in size, then we can bake it. So look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So the yeast is continuing to do its work. It's making it all plump and gorgeous. That's going to be the sponginess, right? We're going to go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Put it towards the bottom of the oven, and that heat from the oven will give it another lift again, right? So open and gently close the oven straight away, and that's a beautiful thing. So look at this. There's your beautiful chocolate bread, golden bits, nutty bits. Let that cool down for normally around like 20 minutes, but we're not going to have time today. Right? Can you hear the crunch? And then on the inside, look at that. You got the sponge wrapped with the chocolate, the nuts. That is going to be a thing of joy. Let's have a little try. For a breakfast bread, come on, absolutely beautiful.